What is up, guys? Zach here with another DVD review for you guys today. I know I haven't done a DVD review on like an actual wrestler or anything in a while, so I decided to do a DVD review of this DVD, which I watched over the weekend. And in my opinion, this DVD is simply amazing. Like, the documentary was just excellent. The matches, were also very good. Nothing really bad about this DVD at all. There are a few matches that they could have lived without, but Jericho was the one that put the matches on there. He chose his matches that he wanted on his DVD, so I respect him for that. And just phenomenal DVD, guys. You see in the cover here, you have him putting the wall of Jericho on Edge at WrestleMania 26. You had the sides right here. It says breaking the code behind the walls of Chris Jericho, a 3-disc set. On the back, you have a picture of him. Picture of him against Mysterio at Extreme Rules 09. Him hitting Edge from WrestleMania 26, and him versus The Rock from either No Mercy 01 or Vengeance 01. I forgot. But I will read you guys the back right here. For nearly 20 years, Chris Jericho has stolen the spotlight, becoming one of the most recognized WWE superstars in sports entertainment history. From his early days in Germany, Mexico, and Japan, throughout ECW, WCW, and ultimately WWE, Chris Jericho has demonstrated he is an exceptional talent in the ring and on the mic. He was the first ever undisputed champion of WWE and has held 6 different titles in World Wrestling Entertainment, including the Intercontinental Championship a record 9 times. His talent go beyond the ring as a Atolia rock and rolla. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right. I'm still having trouble pronouncing that. He is the lead singer of the rock band VIII, and his amusing personality and quick wit have made him and demand on stage, film, and television. Where the hell am I at? There I am. Now, for the first time ever, Chris Jericho restored his career sobriety in breaking the code behind the walls of Chris Jericho. In addition, in this comprehension, sorry, I don't pay attention to English that much, documentary, this 3-disc set is packed with 19 career-spanning matches, including Chris Jericho's debut match against Lance T. Storm, the Thrill Seekers versus the Infernos, a rarely seen Japanese match versus Ultimo Dragon, an ECW battle against Cactus Jack, WCW bouts versus Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, and more, plus WWE matches against Triple H, The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, John Cena, Hulk Hogan, and others. Chris Jericho's entertaining WWE debut segment. And you see, you open the DVD, very phenomenal artwork here. Jericho, walls, picture of him and his. This is from the Armageddon poster, Armageddon '08 poster. Another. Open it up. Disc 1, him with the undisputed titles, him in the walls of Jericho, and him in Edge. Phenomenal. You see, you have the insert, the man in the suit, I like to call him now. The man in the suit. Very well done. I'm not going to read all the matches from Disc 2 and Disc 3 because I basically have all of them down in the description box. I wrote down all the matches exactly how they're put on here, except for the alternate commentary things, and rated them because I watched all the matches as well. All I'm going to do is read you the program and the special features. The program includes A Star is Born, International Sensation, Land of the Extreme, Arrival in WCW, Best in the Show, Never Ever the Same Again, Conspiracy Victim, Armbar, Greenberg, The Millennium Man, The Y2J Era Begins, Undisputed Champion, Highlight of the Night, The Highlight Reel, Facing an Idol, Total Buffoonery, whatever the hell it says, You're Fired, Breaking Out, Fozzy, Time Away, Breaking the Code, Anonymous Man, Career, Renaissance. I can't pronounce that word still. I've been having trouble pronouncing that word for like fucking 9 years now. Renaissance, I think it's called. Renaissance, whatever. Save Us, the best in the world at what I do. And special features include A Young Fanatic, Jack Action, Leon Dioro, the Thrill Seekers, Vintage #1 and #2. Have you heard of Chris Jericho? Paul Heyman's roommate, Mr. Salty, the man of 1004 holds, Conspiracy Victim, Father Knows Best, Hello Lexington, Do You Smell What Y2J is Cooking, Sharing a Beer with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho vs. the Old Man, Chris Jericho's Junction Fozzy music video. Now, here's the whole thing of the entire set here. Let me straighten this out, kind of make it look good. Now, basically, I'm just going to summarize the documentary. The documentary was very, very good. Really no problem with it. I wish they would have had it a little bit longer because it was only an hour and 45 minutes. I wish it could have went to 2 to 2.5 hours, to tell you guys the truth. And I do agree with Luke Cage, that prick, that if you read the book, the Lion's Tale book, you feel the documentary is incomplete, and I actually do feel it was incomplete, but it was a great documentary, what it's worth. So it basically explains him growing up in Winnipeg, how he started watching wrestling when he was only 8 years old, and he started his own rock band when he was 12, I believe, something when he was 12, and that he graduated at the age of 17, and you had to be 18 in order to go to the Heart Dungeon and train, so he had to waste the year. So what he did was he went to community college and took a year of, what the hell is that word? Crap, I forgot. I had it in my mind before I made this video. Culinary class, I think it was. Whatever your writing class is. He took that for about a year, then he joined the Heart Dungeon at the age of 19, where he met up with Lance Storm. And, he had his first ever wrestling match against him. And then it goes to basically him wrestling a lot in, what the fuck's it called? Canada. I don't know why it took me a long time to say Canada, but he wrestled in there for a while, and then eventually I believe he went to Mexico first. He met with some guy in Mexico who needed a partner, so he went to Mexico, and he worked like 10 shows a week, because that one night, I think it was Saturday nights, they did like 3 or 4 shows. Then he eventually went to Germany, then he went to Japan, and then he finally got signed to ECW, where he worked in the Cruiserweight division from basically all the time. And then he left ECW to go to WCW, where he had a blast. He said there he was a Cruiserweight champion. He didn't like the entire Goldberg storyline. Well, he liked it, but he didn't like how they wanted to end it. Because basically you had Jericho doing the entire Miz and Cena feud last year, where Jericho would come out and call him out, and when he didn't come out, he'd say like Jericho 5, Goldberg 0. That's what basically doing until Goldberg finally got tired and he finally went in the match. And from what I heard of what he said, Goldberg was actually pretty pissed about this storyline, how he's basically saying Goldberg sucks every week. And then WCW told Jericho that he wants a job to Goldberg in like a minute, like everyone else does on pay-per-view. But Jericho did not want that to happen. He was fine with putting Goldberg over, but he did not want a job to him. And then that's what he said, that he wanted to leave WCW because of that, because they wanted him the job, Goldberg. And he did agree to sign a new contract with WCW, but he did not end up signing the contract when it came. And then he eventually got signed. Well, first off, I had to add a thing that was pretty hilarious. The man of 1,004 holds. It was so funny, because he'd be like, alright, hold number 1, arm bar. Number 2, arm drag. Number 3, chokehold. Number 4, arm bar. Like, after every, 2 or 3 different ones, he would say arm bar. And then when it went to commercial, whatever city it was in, I forgot what city it was, he would basically trash talk that city. Like, I think it might have been Chicago. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, when you watch this and watch other stuff, you tend to forget things. And when it came back from commercial, he'd be like, alright, hold number 773. He didn't say that. I think it was like 707 or something like that. He said, arm bar again, blah, 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 blah. And then, I think Dean Malenko came out and they had a match, because Dean Malenko back then was the man with 1,000 holds, and they had a match, I guess. And then he finally got signed to the WWE, and he knew WWE was high on him, because whenever you make your debut interrupting a big star like The Rock, that's how he made his debut, by interrupting The Rock. WWE really likes it. They really, really want you in their company. And he ended up interrupting The Rock in his first promo, and Jericho was pretty pissed off. Well, he wasn't pissed off. He was kind of sad because his first storyline was against China for the Intercontinental Championship, and he was so happy he won the Intercontinental Championship. And you know, after that, he worked a storyline with Stephanie McMahon. Well, Triple H was still the WWE champion at the time. And then Jericho, he had no idea he was going to win the Undisputed Championship at Vengeance 2001. He said he had no idea. And when he won that championship, he said he couldn't believe that he was the world champion, you know. He said all he wanted to accomplish in WWE was just become the Intercontinental Champion. And to become the Undisputed Champion was just awesome, he said. And, you know, that year, 2002, the next year after a month after he won it, when he main evented WrestleMania 18 in Montreal, I think it was. Well, it was Canada. I'm just going to say it was in Canada. No, I think it was Vancouver, BC or something like that. Whatever WrestleMania 18 was held at. You know, being your second year in WWE and you're main eventing WrestleMania in your home country, he said it was an excellent feeling, you know. He said it was just awesome. And basically then you just skip to his partnership with Christian, you know, how they became tag team champions. And then eventually Trish got thrown in the mix and, you know, they had an entire feud right there. And then he started going to the highlight reel and he talked about his feud with John Cena. And how when he got fired he was, you know, he was acting like a little crybaby, like a little bitch, complaining and everything. That he got his job lost. And, you know, they talked about him and Fozzy, you know, and then he said Shawn Michaels versus John Cena at WrestleMania 23 was actually his first match watching ever since he left. And he said their match at London in April 2007 is when he's like, all right, I need to come back now. This is why I need to come back. And Chris Jericho ended up coming back, interrupting not John Cena, Randy Orton with the entire Save Us Y2J thing. And, you know, after he came back, he started saying how when he came back, he was basically the same guy he was when he left, and that he needed a new character change. That's when he became the entire honest man gimmick now. How he tells the truth and everything, you know, how he's like, you're all hypocrites and I'm the best in the world at what I do. And he talks about his feud with Shawn Michaels a little bit. And, you know, basically the DVD is wrapping up, and it says, Chris questioned himself. He's like, am I really the best in the world at what I do? He's like, honestly, at times I feel like I'm not really a great wrestler. I feel like I'm bad in the ring at sometimes, but, you know, I'm really not the best in the world at what I do. And in my opinion, Chris, you are the best in the world at what you do right now. This DVD is just phenomenal, guys. You need to pick this one up. Hope you guys enjoyed this review. You know, like I said, all the matches are in the description box. It'll just take, I only have 2 minutes left, so I'm not going to name all these matches right now. But definitely pick this one up, guys. Phenomenal work by WWE. Hopefully Jericho comes out with a new DVD. Not anytime soon. Hopefully like you know, 5, 6, 7 years from now. I don't know. But like I said, a phenomenal DVD. Must have for any wrestling fan. I'm Zach, and I'm out, guys. Thanks for watching this review.